Whenever I film a recipe, I'm very demure, very mindful. I make sure I have all of my ingredients ready to go. I make sure that the oven is preheated so that way we save time, very mindful. We use lights to offset the ugly green shadows that come from the greenery outside that go on my white cabinet. Cutesy. Make sure each ingredient is set up in equal rows that are equally spaced so that way the recipe stays clean. Very mindful, very cutesy, very aesthetic. I line my baking sheet with parchment paper that I cut perfectly to fit each cookie sheet. Very mindful, also very cutesy. This way I make sure there's no mess and it's aesthetically pleasing because it fits within the tray. Very mindful. Try to pour and add my ingredients as neatly as possible so that way we keep our workspace clean. Very demure. I set a timer 3/4 of the way until the recipe is done. Turn on the lights, that way I can check on it to make sure that it's not burnt because I know my oven and this baby cooks fast. I'm very mindful of that. Cutesy little oven, she cooks quickly. I clean up while the recipe is baking because I want a clean kitchen. I want to be very mindful of other people who might want to be using this kitchen. I'm very demure. Once the recipe is complete, I always transfer to a cutesy little platter. Very demure, very mindful of my guests, of the people that I want to enjoy the recipe. I always take a bite and let you guys know exactly how I feel about the recipe so that way you can trust that it is good. Very mindful, very demure. Now that's good. I always take a photo of the completed recipe afterwards in the good sunlight because I want my Instagram page to be very demure, very aesthetically pleasing. I want all of the colors to be the same. I want it to be bright and inviting. Very mindful.